Anybody know what the #1 selling body shaper in America is, guys? Come on.
I know.
Ladies?
Spanx.
Spanx! Spanx! That is not what I am wearing. I am wearing a cheap British knockoff version called a slight tap on the bottom. It does the same job, but it does it with a dry sense of humor. It's like, ha-ha, muffin top. Doing a good job. Personally, though, I think the entire line of body-shaping undergarments should all be referred to as, I can't believe I'm not breathing, because you don't. So ladies, if you're ever like doing something that you're bad at, like you're trying to parallel park, and you accidentally back into the parking meter and kill a mailman, for example, just blame your body shaper, because it is very hard to do anything when you are not getting the oxygen to the upper half of your body. Just ask men, they know they suffer this most of the time. That's what it's like. It's the same kind of thing. So I want to tell you how I happened to possess a body shaper, because I live in Eugene and this is not a normal garment for a Eugene woman to have. My sister, who is not from Eugene, she came here and she's from a tiny little town and she considers Eugene to be a big city. And I laugh and I laugh. And so she comes here, she wants to go shopping. She doesn't want to go to Saturday Market or anything typical Eugenian. She wants to go to Victoria's Secret at the mall. Well, this is not my favorite place to shop because I am a woman of a certain age and I have already learned what Victoria's Secret is, and that secret is she's a dude. I mean, think about it. Who else puts out a catalog with women wearing lingerie out in the ocean surf with a come hither look on their face? I have gotten to be this age and never once have I thought to myself, you know what would make my day today? If I was wearing my bra and panties and I ran out to the cold ocean and stood there, and you know my come hither look is really more of a she needs her meds adjusted look. It's not exactly the same. But what really convinced me that Victoria is a dude is a woman would not come up with the idea of putting pearls on the backside of a pair of thong underwear. I'm a southern woman and I like a strand of pearls as much as the next woman, but not where the sun don't shine, because what's the point? And you can't sit down comfortably, come on. And if you do, you know that thing's going to ride up, and you're going to nonchalantly be walking around trying to dislodge it all day. It's like a horse with epilepsy, and that is not a good look on anything. But anyway, so I went with my sister to Victoria's Secret, and I thought, well, as long as I'm here, I might as well look at something. And so I kind of glanced at the table full of body shapers, and this young 20-something blonde size 0 sales clerk, she looked at me and then she looked at the body shapers and then she looked at me and she said, you know, we have like body shapers that could like hide like any flaw. So I asked her if she had one that could hide the fact that she was an insensitive bitch. Apparently she could not. So I just grabbed a couple myself and went into the dressing room with them, and I slid one on. And by slid one on, I meant it took me 30 minutes of holding my breath and almost begging for a stick of butter or a tube of KY jelly to slide myself into this thing. There was a tag on it that said, guaranteed to make your hips and thighs look 10 to 15 pounds lighter. And I went, huh. Because see, I'm a smart woman, and I remember Newton's third law. Anybody? For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. If 10 pounds of me is going to disappear from my hips and thighs, it's going to have to show up somewhere. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a little Miss Size 0 out there either. But I get this thing on, and I look at myself, and I thought, you know what? I do look 10 to 15 pounds thinner on the bottom, and so I'm trying to get a look at my backside, and as I do, my ass fat slaps me in the face. So it's hanging out over my armpits, which is not a good look for me. So you don't want to do that. So I dressed up tonight, and it's really hard to be a middle-aged woman and dress up, and I will tell you why. A single middle-aged woman and dress up, because men just assume you are on the prowl. If you're not wearing orthopedic shoes and elasticized waistband and you're over 50, you are on the prowl. And I'm just so not. I don't date, and it's not like I don't get offers. I get things that might be offers, if you look at them from the side. So there's opportunities, but I don't date on purpose. And there are plenty of reasons. My friends are always saying, you really should date because you're a good catch. And I totally agree with that, but if I'm going to date, I want to belong to the catch and release program. And I do not know, do you need a license for that? Do they sell them at Bi-Mart next to the fishing and hunting licenses? Where do you go for that? And just how big does a guy have to be before you have to throw him back? I'm not sure of the rules at all, so it's just better to stay out of it. But I gotta say, it is kind of fun when you dress up because you can fool people. And by people, I mean male people. So a young guy will come up from behind me and he's thinking, hot chick. And he comes around in front of me and he thinks, MILF. And I object to that. It's not the ILF part I object to, it's the M part. Because I am nobody's M. I am also not a cougar. I don't like that term. I prefer puma. It sounds faster. But to be honest, I'm really more of a house cat. Because, if a younger guy shows up in my bedroom, I might play with his shoelaces. But I'm not going out looking for him, because that is too much work on my part. If a middle-aged man comes up from behind me, he's thinking, hot chick, and he comes around to the front and he thinks, oh my God, she's almost as old as I am! Because apparently that is the kiss of death to a middle-aged man who is not married to be seen with a woman his own age. So that's hard. And most middle-aged men that I have, my experience, and I don't want to generalize, but, why not? Most middle-aged men want one of two things. They want arm candy, a college cheerleader type to make them look virile and young. Or they want a stable, secure, financially independent, middle-aged woman to see them into their golden years as they go off into the sunset. And I'm just totally not ready to put on that cheerleading outfit again, because every time I do a round-off back handspring in bed, somebody gets hurt. And it's usually not me either. But really the main reason I don't date is that it requires that you wear shoes of a certain type. And I like comfortable shoes, even these shoes, which are kind of cute. These are Danskos. Now Danskos clogs are the #1 shoe worn by wait staff and nurses because they're comfortable, so they're a clog. So this is a combination of a cute shoe and a clog. And really they don't, they're like a hybrid. I feel very ecological when I wear these shoes, and like I run on electricity. But they're not really do-me shoes. And what I have found after a certain age is that do-me shoes are also send me to the chiropractor after shoes. And if you're going to spend $50 on a pair of shoes and $500 on a chiropractor, that guy's going to have to be really good to be worth it. And you don't want to have to, judge people according to your chiropractor.